Fast Celtic 3, Kettering Town 2. Adam, it's a win, but it wasn't easy, was it?
Should have been easier for me. I thought we were the better team, I thought we started the game very well. Obviously, Chris Atkinson smashed one over from a corner inside 3 minutes, and then we've obviously gone and won the penalty, which we've missed. Then we kept going there at the post where we didn't clear our lines from a corner, but then we got our nose in front, really good goal, and then the second half, we obviously, once we got that second goal, I thought we'd kind of go on then, and I felt we were great value, and the referees, for me, it's a soft free kick that he's given them. The lads, Tom Allen's put his foot out to block the cross. The lads crossed the ball. It's come to nothing. As he's crossed the ball, he's kicked Tom Allen's foot, and then the referee's pulled it back, and he was doing that all game. And granted, Kyle, he's put his hand up there, and he's got to do better with the free kick itself. But it's not a foul in the first place, and then it's you go from being in complete control for me to the game's on again. Then we kind of settled down again, went and had a goal disallowed. But we looked like we're on the ascendancy, got a third goal, and you think, it's deserved. But then right from the kick-off, Will Ayers switches off, one ball in behind him. The lads unmarked in the box, and it's 3-2, with like 10-15 minutes to go. And for me, the game was closer than I felt it should have been. I felt we were the better team, and obviously with it being 3-2, then it causes a little bit of pressure and tension in the last 10 minutes there. And to be honest, their number 9's missed a sitter, hasn't he? He's missed an header from 5 yards. He's put it straight at Kyle, and I've just said to the lads there, from a game that for me we've been the better team. We've controlled the majority. We've scored 3 good goals, 3-2, and we could have come away there with a point. It would have been incredibly disappointing. So that's the only negative for me. But outside of that, I thought we did ever so well today, and it's another massive 3 points.
You mentioned the missed penalty there. Of course, it was 1 at half time, but it could have been 2. Missed penalty, Ben Atkinson missing. I think it raises a few eyebrows because the midfielder took it instead of a striker. What's the thinking there? And do you decide who takes penalties before the game, and do you practice penalties as well?
Yeah. So we've got Ben Atkinson, we've got Will Ayers there, our two takers, and Will's been on them. He's obviously scored a couple, but he wasn't on the pitch when the penalty came around. Ben's obviously took it, he's dragged it, and he'll probably be off them now. If Will's on the pitch, he'll take them again, and if Will misses them, they'll go on to the next one. But listen, at the back end of last season, Ben stepped up and took a couple of massive pressure penalties for us, and he smashed them in. And his record is very good from penalties, but it is decided before who takes them. They know who takes them, and I have no issue. They don't miss a penalty on purpose. I prefer it to be saved than it to be missing the target. He's better. He's got to do better than that. But the great thing for me was that it didn't affect us. We could have gone flat then, and we could have let it affect us for the next 10-15 minutes, but we didn't do. I thought Ben, he quickly got his head back on the game, and we obviously went and got our nose in front anyway. So fortunately for us today, it's not cost us.
Of course, the big talking point of the game came in the first half. Cal Trenery rushing out and picking up a yellow card. Was that the right decision, or was he lucky there?
For me, Danny Ellis is covering him. When the ball is played, Danny Ellis is goal side of Kyle. So I think it's only a yellow card. What baffles me is how he gets his shot away. We get the fortune of it bouncing. If it had been November, it would have gone in because it wouldn't have been as hard. It's an advantage of having a pitch that drains so quick. It's bounced and gone over the bar, which was fortuitous for us. But I don't see then why it should come back. There's another example of a referee. I thought he was out of his depth today.
Of course, it was 3-2, the full-time score. You go away to Leamington next Saturday. They're doing well this season so far. So what are your thoughts going into that game?
Tough game, isn't it, Ed? Say it's you'll ask me every week, and every week I'll say it's going to be a tough game. They've started the season well. They're a very established team at this level. Certainly at their place, they've got a very good home record, and as always, we'll expect a difficult game. But I think saying to the players there, you know, we're 10 games into the season now and we've got 16 points on the board. I think that's a brilliant return. The players deserve a lot of credit. You know, I wasn't happy with them a week ago, but the way that they've reacted since then in getting 6 points is fantastic, and they now get a few days to rest and recover and get a little bit of treatment, and we get ready to go down to Leamington next week.
You mentioned the 6 points picked up this week, 2 wins in a row now. How do you go about carrying momentum from these 2 wins into the next one?
It's all about the players. You know, it's about the players on the day. You know, in this division, you can win 2 or 3 games, but you can lose 2 or 3 games as well. You know, you need that element of luck at times within the games. You need to be ruthless when you get your opportunities, and you've got to have good concentration and not give away poor goals. So, you know, I think providing that we can have consistent individual and then collective performances, then I'm confident we can pick up points. You know, week after week. But you only have to switch off for a second, or you only have to make one bad decision, or you only have to, you know, be not quite at it, and you get beat, whether you're home or away, whether you're playing York at the top or the teams down the bottom. It's about the lads on the day, and you know, they've done well, because we have had a tough run. I know I've kept saying that, but we really have, and you know, for them to bounce back following the disappointment at Altrincham last week with 2 wins, you know, people might say, well, you've played a couple of the teams that are down near the bottom, you've still got to beat them, you know, and every game's, you know, difficult. So every credit to them for their efforts this week, and we look forward to the next game.
So Jack Higgins and the 2 Turner twins, they were hovering about the ground today. Could they be back for next week?
No, Jack possibly. I'll have to see how he gets on this week. Nathan's getting closer to training. Hopefully he'll be back in full training by the end of September, which is great. You know, he's been out for a long time. He's had a serious injury, so we won't be rushing him, but he's doing great. And the same with Lewis. He's had another serious injury. He's doing great, but there's no pressure on us to rush them. Lewis is probably going to be, you know, after Christmas, and Nathan, as I say, hopefully in the coming weeks, but we won't be putting any pressure on them. But, you know, you've got 3 top players there that aren't even in the 16, so when they are ready to come back, then they're certainly going to bring a hell of a lot to the table for us.